Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all for being here today. I think that this is one thing that we can agree on both sides of the aisle. We don't want to see hungry children. We don't want to see hungry people. We live in a country that's fortunate enough to be able to share and help these people. And it's unfortunate that here in Congress it's so common for Democrats and Republicans to make accusations against one another when really we agree that on all these programs that are designed to help people, we want to do the very best we can to make sure that those in need are the ones getting the help. So if we can tone down the political rhetoric and look at how we can do excuse me, the very best we can to make sure that not a single calorie is taken away from those in need, then we can get a lot further than arguing and making accusations. You know, I know that's the case in Medicare, it's the case in Medicaid, it's Social Security disability. So often one side accuses the other of trying to go over the top, but you know, oftentimes that's for political reasons, and these aren't Democrat issues or Republican issues, these are people issues. So again, I appreciate you being here today. Ms. Fong, if we're going to try to do the very best, whether it's 1%, 5%, 0.5%, we need to find out what the problems are and how to solve them. So can you tell me what is the most typical kind of fraud that you see in the food stamp program?
Well, we have a number of schemes that we see. Most of them focus on trafficking, which is a situation where a recipient goes to a retailer and tries to cash in the card for money, and in which case both parties come away feeling that they've gotten a good bargain. There are numbers of ways that this happens. We've seen different schemes over the years where retailers and recipients get very creative about shopping the card, as it were. Okay.
Do people who illegally traffic food stamps, do they tend to be people that also try to commit fraud in other government assistance programs like Section 8 housing or Medicaid?
I don't believe we have any data on that, although I will say that we do, on occasion, do joint investigations with other government agencies, such as HHS, which manages the Medicaid, Medicare program, and sometimes there will be recipients who are involved in all of those programs.
Okay. How much money could a store owner who traffics in food stamps likely make illegally?
Well, I think you'd want to look at it on a sort of a per benefit basis. It can range. There are some very small retailers who, in the context of their business, will make thousands of dollars. There may be other larger retailers or smaller ones who engage in multiple transactions who can benefit by hundreds of thousands of dollars or even millions. And some of our investigative results will show restitution sentences that can range from hundreds of thousands to millions.
Okay. Just so we kind of know if there's citizen watchdogs and people out there that are looking for this type of problem, can you give us an example of the most elaborate scam involving store owners that your office has investigated?
Oh, well, I think we certainly have a number of cases going on. Most recently, we've seen situations where there have been runners employed who will take cards from recipients and take them to many different retailers and swipe those cards to get benefits, and there'll be maybe a group of retailers who work together to do this. So there's some very complicated schemes there.
Okay. Ms. Faulkner, you probably also have seen this type of thing, and could you share maybe what one of the most egregious fraud cases that you're aware of? And then when that happens, do you frequently see children deprived when their guardians engage in SNAP fraud?
I think any time there's fraud, children are involved, especially when it relates to the SNAP program. But what I would like to share with you is one of the more sophisticated trends, and I think Inspector General Fong touched upon it. In a program such as SNAP, a recipient will go to a restaurant or a bar, and this is not a place where they would accept EBT cards. But they would go there, and the restaurant or bar would go to a grocery store and buy, say, $200 worth of groceries. And then they would, for the bar or restaurant, and then they would give the recipient half, 75%, something off of the EBT card. And really, it cuts out. You never really see the bar or restaurant transaction. What you see is the recipient using to buy $200 worth of groceries at this particular grocery store. That's a little hard to track. And being stricter on the retailers will help this problem, because you cut out that restaurant that is being used to get the money. So we see that in Pennsylvania sometimes.
Okay, well, I see my time has expired, but thank you all for what you do to make sure that those people in need get the food that they need. I yield back.